All right, sort of a part 2 here. So when this guy came in and I heard foot fungus, I was like, this is what God was warning me about, right? And sadly, I had given him money. Now, when you give someone of demonic possession, demonic, anything like that, basically what can happen is you've given this and then it can hex you and it can curse you, okay? So anytime you accept a gift from somebody with ill intent, or you give it to them, then you can be hexed or cursed or whatever it is. You can be tied to that demon. So it's so important to cut cords, cleanse yourself, whatnot. It's really hard because you're talking about a person here, and it's a homeless person, right? And sadly, whatever happened to this kid was like bad, because whatever is in this kid is bad. And when I tell you bad, I mean bad. So what's kind of happening and what I've been watching in this household is, I'm in a safe house, and I was sort of guided here because there was some, Christians in here that were presenting themselves to be Christians, or, this and that, and praising God and being spiritual teachers, but they were doing some dark ass shit behind the scenes. And you've probably heard this if you're paying attention, that the first thing God's going to swipe off the earth, but not swipe off the earth. Try to heal. Try to make them understand first, right? And the way God's going to do that is through people and circumstances in your life. If you're out there giving false information to people, or you're misguiding people and you're using the word God, you're going to be humbled by God. And what I'm getting to is because women were so broken down over decades, God's going to use a lot of women to humble a lot of narcissists in here. And they're not going to like it, right? Narcissists, there's female narcissists, but like male narcissists usually present themselves in a religious sort of Christian pastor type aspect. And they use it to kind of act like God so they can have control over the women, right? Like the Bible kind of makes God look like he's a narcissist, right? So I feel like I was sent here I feel like this demon was sent for me, to be honest with you. And they accepted this man into their house. They gave this man a home, a place to sleep, food, and whatnot, okay? And that's the sad. They opened the door to the demonic levels. So what will happen over time is that his life will get better and their lives will start to deteriorate. And what I'm getting is he's possibly had sex with one of the members of the family, and what will happen to this person was they'll start to probably have addictions. They'll start to have anger issues. They'll start to do bad things. They'll get into criminal activity. It could also be things such as unaliving people, hurting people, sabotaging people, doing drugs, selling drugs, whatever it may be. And one person's life will completely flip, and you'll notice the demonic person's life will get better. And I've already noticed it with this guy where he wasn't saying a word in this house, and now that guy has full sentences. Their energy is bringing him back to life, and he transferred that demon to another person. And because of the man in this house is a false practitioner, false teacher, false spiritual teacher, he praises God and says he's a mentor, but he scams people. He's a scammer. He's in a cult. And God is going to humble this man in a way that, and sometimes God sends these demons to us. It's not just like Satan sent this person. Sometimes God does it to teach these fake pastors or whatnot a lesson, And so what I'm getting is this man is going to watch his family completely crumble because he opened the door to the demonic. He opened the door to a stronghold that he will never be able to get rid of until he accepts deliverance from God, and that he is humbled by God and repents for his sins and accepts the Lord as his Savior and starts living the life of God and not of betrayal, lies, stealing. Okay? And so it's really sad because it's like I'm watching what this John guy did to me and has now done to my family. I mean, this John guy now, what I'm hearing, if it hasn't been done already, there are people that he slept with that are now probably going to go to jail. Like he probably let them go to jail for something he did. He's basically like, these people are going to end up in jail, sick with cancer, losing money, being broke, and it'll be because this guy, and then he'll be famous or something. Like he'll be off doing something great, and these people's lives will crumble, and it's because they accepted his stronghold into their lives, and they will have to get demonic, like an exorcism, a strong deliverance. So it's sort of like God is letting me witness this as to what happened to me is now going to happen to this family. And God is kind of teaching this man and this woman, like when you are praising God and you're saying that you love me and you accept me and you're preaching this to other people, but you're doing crap like this to innocent people, I'm going to humble you and I'm going to bring that demon into your life because I want you to see how easy it is for it to walk into your family when you are not walking with me 100%. And you're lying about it. That's the worst thing. When you're not fully a Christian, but you're on the right side of the tracks, you're not criminal, you're not doing anything, you're just not praying a lot, you're not going to church or whatever, it can come in there, But when you're lying about your faith, when you're doing bad stuff and you're pretending that you were a God lover, that's when God's going to send something big time in there and land you on your butt. And what I'm getting is like Spirit put me here at the same time so that he knew what was happening before it happens. And it's to give this man choices. Do you want to humble yourself and accept me as your Lord? Are you going to stop this cult-like behavior, this criminal-like behavior, these lies, and these boys' lives that you're destroying pretending to be a spiritual teacher? These kids that he's mentoring, they're not going anywhere. They're criminals. They're, doing bad things to females, mostly. And he's lying and he's using God, and God is going to break this man unless he accepts what he's done. And that's not my job anymore. And I've been released from this, but God wanted me here to put this message out so that this man knew his choices, because he's given a chance. He needs deliverance. He needs exorcism. He needs to cleanse his house, and he needs to change his ways, and he needs to stop leading people down the wrong path and using God as the leader. So this is kind of what happens when you accept strongholds. This kid came in and his life will get better, and these people's lives will get worse. And if they don't start treating the earth angels that come into this home and that are looking for help and guidance, and they're stealing from them, whether it be energy or money or doing criminal activity against these people, then more strongholds will be sent to them. So basically kind of my path was not just teaching these people a lesson, but it was also teaching me a lesson. I gave this guy money. And I should have really been around him more. But I felt, God, I needed to do this. And it was a test for me. Pay attention to who you're giving money to, right? Because I accepted that stronghold into me. And I had to do days of deliverance, days of self-prayer. So when you're letting something into your home and you're giving to somebody, spend time with that person. Now remember, they can't accept deliverance unless they can't have deliverance or an exorcism or whatever they have unless they accept it. And it has to come from a practitioner that can do it, right? Who has certified themselves in it. And these people in this house are demonically attachments because of this man, this kid that came in.